It's not easy to talk to people because you are someone that is trying to build whatever is a connection with those who I consider people out there that you don't know where they stand and where you stand in. And there's a cycle of trying to change your environment, but the environment, usually where you are, changes you. And I believe individuals are a product of their environment, they're a product of their household, their ideas that they got from those who have shaped them by just all the different factors of people that have taught them how to think, how to believe, how to behave, and also the way of how they've been given what I call certain truths of reality that they have been told, that they have been molded, and they have a genetic way of makeup that they process just anything spoken as something that they look at as agreeable or disagreeable, rather than acknowledging what is real that somebody, let's say like yourself, is saying to another person that you're trying to express about the way that the world is, the way that you see structures in this world, how they're put together, and you see what is really a need versus what is a want, that's a craving, what is behind a want, what is behind status I call it. People are hiding constantly behind things like status, or they're hiding behind all these different social norms, like being wealthy, someone being in poverty. They hide behind what they have and what they don't, the have and the have-nots. They hide simply behind a facade and also an identity that they carry to the grave, that they'll fight off whoever that they see is going to interfere with their identity, instead of the genuine approach of someone being able to trust you. You can't just approach anybody in this world. You can't just have a conversation with just anybody in this world, because there's a mistrust based off of social identities. And we are very fundamentally materialistic by nature. And what is the purpose of letting go of what people think about you, how people determine your value? You have to see that you have value on all of the greatest of awareness and truth that is hidden, that is not even in this world, that you are greater and more sustained than powerful revenue sources in this world. God is light. God is above even the things of man's own wisdom. And truth be told, that you have to honor yourself with what you've been given, and how you can't just live to let everybody have the benefit of putting you in a bracket of any social condition, any labeling of what could be attached to you that is not of you. People will hate you because you're someone that doesn't act or think the way that they do. Your behavior is not aligned with them. And if you don't have the behavior that's set up the way that those who are all behaving according to how the system is designed, then you're disregarded because you're on a different frequency. They are on different frequencies. And their light could be themselves, and your light can be where it comes from God. Their success is in themselves. Your success is what you actually are doing for others who may struggle, who may have it difficult. And you're offering a helping hand to bring people who are broken up from this broken world. And people who are all about themselves, they don't want anyone that's going to interfere with themselves on them feeling a conviction because of something that you're doing that is not aligned on how they're viewing what they want for themselves, only so that they could try to get ahead. And others are just competition. You're not seeing society to where you're running a competition. You're seeing the potential of spiritual growth. And there is also the opportunity of physical growth with wealth that could come with how you apply planting seeds spiritually that could manifest materially on the surface. And what is ingrained is truth at the end of the day. There isn't anything else that isn't sustained. So, if you're different, embrace it. Meaning that you stand alone, you are standout, you stand apart. Learn how to navigate with the gifts of how you could approach people if it's not where people reciprocate things that you say, how you demonstrate, just your purpose, that they don't see and accept. You just have to let all of what is of your actions speak the truth, that people will eventually see what you're really about and who you are. That will just eventually bring, I believe, just recognition without wanting you to be spoken about or recognized. Just your presence creates recognition. I think just overall, as time goes on, because of what you're investing, because of what you're speaking, that is, just the truth that can't be untold. Do you know that you don't have to be defeated by any anxiety that comes from stress? You don't have to be broken to the point where your mind is stolen, that your peace is robbed. Because God, He's able to make a way to where all of your past traumas can become something of a great, powerful tool of restoration in the end. Whatever is impossible that you have faced, it's possible that God could even give you the ability of all the thoughts, all the traumatizations to be erased through the practice of becoming renewed with new experiences of light and hope that breaks the hopelessness. I know people who have gone through heavy addictions. They felt like they couldn't overcome their circumstance, and they felt like it was just too painful and debilitating, just to be alive. And I know that feeling. I know that mistrust of life being against you, feeling like you're at odds, feeling the weight of being crushed by those odds. They come against you so tremendously. But I want to just say something right now. We are not alone in all the things that have to do with, a influx of constant struggle. Do you know that when you get praises by people, it validates your confidence on the surface, usually. If people are complimenting your outward appearance, if you're being looked at as someone that people respect because you have money that is on you, that you're able to buy whatever is accessible, you're able to buy even relationships in just different degrees. You know, that people are easily accessible when you have a lot of what is of wealth, money. But do you know that the praises actually equal really being disregarded, you know, as a true person inwardly? Because a lot of times people are not seeing the inward, you know, appreciation of who you really are. Your identity is outwardly to a lot of the people that are all about what is success. But if you offer something that is really deeply spiritual, and you're not speaking about living by the material world, focusing on just the material world that passes, and you're not just focusing on the here and now, but you're focusing on how you can impact what is greater, that can carry seeds being planted to really create even what I call spiritual knowledge that people could end up adapting because of things that you're able to speak upon. You know, there is so much in-depthness that is tied to a person that only one has to release it from the inward self. And how many people really dive deep into transformation? How many people really are speaking powerful information, things that they've learned that is powerful tools to break apart what is of this ongoing world that we know is a crisis on so many levels. So many people that I've encountered, they have taught me lessons about themselves, about myself, and I can't let anything get in the way of hindering me on any level socially. It's 2026, and do you know that we are not being slowed up by time? We are not given the opportunity to change what has already been broken. That, you know, is not something when we speak about things that we know that are broken, that aren't able to be fixed, such as what we have lost that has been of certain amenities to our name over time, things that we have allowed to slip through the cracks, like things that have been burned up in the fire. You know, we are, even who try to live a life that is seeking to be on a righteous path, it's like the righteous are barely saved. So it says something in the Bible, what will happen to those who are ungodly? What will happen to the very people that are only barely going to make it? They're barely going to see heaven's gate. I'm speaking for real now. And we're on a conquest. Those who are chosen, that know that they're chosen for a purpose, that is to eliminate, you know, what is of the ongoing warfare through strategies of prayer, strategies of God's light, you know, that has to come over us by asking God to give us light, even when we can't speak, you know, in communication with a higher power, with God who is higher and above. Let truth be wisdom, and let wisdom shun just what is ignorance out of existence. But I'm here just now going to sign off.